Hey everyone, welcome to Mock Draft Monday. It is February 24th, 2025. I know it's been a few weeks since we have done one of these, but I was on vacation. Uh, a couple other things didn't line up to where we could sit down and do a mock draft Monday episode, but we are back as we are headed to the combine, which is this week, next week.
Yep.
It's a full on draft season now, and I'm Anthony Jokey, Jack McCurry alongside me here. Jack, man, how we doing?
Doing good, man. We went away for a few weeks, but we're back. It's combine week and draft season really ramps up. The NFL's like off season really ramps up because we got the combine this week, then like free agency will start to ramp up post combine, and then we're right in the weeds, man.
Yeah, we are. So, we're gonna keep on rolling with these. These have been a lot of fun. Last time we used the PFF simulator, so mock draft database is on our rotation. So that's the one we're gonna use this time. We are doing a full 7 round mock. We got the settings already loaded up, ready to go. So we're gonna hit start here and see what happens. Number one, and I did a test one before this, and I'll tell you what happens after this first pick of the one I did, because I'm curious to see if it's going to do the same thing. But we're going to hit start here and see what happens. That is not what happened. Shador Sanders went number one, which gave us the opportunity for Cam Ward at two, which I took. But all right, Jack, we weren't offered any trades to trade down, so we were sitting here with the usual top suspects. Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, Shador Sanders, and I guess you could throw Mason Graham in there as well. Um, where do we want to go? In this mock draft, do we want to go quarterback? How you feeling about where this quarterback position is headed this off season? I know Todd McShay at the end of the week said that the Browns could be in play for Kirk Cousins. That he's heard from multiple people. Where do you feel about this right now?
I mean, I trust Tom McShay and his reporting saying that the Browns will go quarterback, and that's a possibility. I think who was it? Daniel Jeremiah had us taking Travis Hunter in his latest mock draft, so maybe he's hearing the same. Uh, We don't really know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen in free agency. At the point, yes, the Kirk Cousin rumors are there, but
There's
like he's
also
still not even officially.
there's also
Okay, go ahead.
the Matt Stafford thing going on too.
Right, but and there's some buzz that he won't even be open to coming to Cleveland. I think it's a whole family thing. Um, being settled in on the West Coast, I can kind of understand that because they've really planted their seeds there in California. So maybe either staying with the Rams or maybe even a trade to the Las Vegas Raiders would be much more fitting for the Stafford family. But like at this point, like we're not knowing what's going to happen. With free agency, I would still take a quarterback here at two. And obviously Shador's the guy there at two because Cam Ward just went number one in this simulator. But what's your line of thinking as things stand right now?
Yeah, I mean, I'm I'm a huge Abdul Carter fan. Like that's where my
Me too.
head is at. But you know, there's been a lot of talk about these quarterbacks, and I feel like if there's a quarterback that's good enough where if the Browns don't take him at two, that he's going to go, third, sixth, because New England, Jacksonville probably won't take one, and then seventh, at the Jets. Like if there's a quarterback that's good enough to go three, uh, six or seven, they're good enough to go at number two, and I feel like the Browns would be doing themselves a disservice if depending on how free agency plays out and what's there on the trade market. But um, I think they'd be doing themselves a disservice if they don't go quarterback in this scenario where we don't know what's going to happen with free agency and trades.
Yeah, and I mean, like I'm a big Abdul Carter fan too. Like I get the appeal there. The Browns peel back from two and get down to a point like at four with New England and Abdul Carter's still there, I think you run to the podium and you take him. Um, Even if he's not there and you peel back, like getting Travis Hunter, whether it's to be a corner or receiver, is great. He's going to test as a corner this week at the combine. Mason Graham, you plug into the defensive line. with currently Miles Garrett and those guys. I mean, those are good options. But I feel like if we're staying at two right now, there's no trade offers. You're going to take the quarterback.
I'm with you there. So we're gonna take Shador Sanders out of Colorado and move on here with the crazy Abdul Carter went like eighth.
Yeah, like I don't see him going out of the top five. I mean, he can go as high as one. I mean, I just think he's a top five player. So I think it'd be crazy if he's slips that far.
All right, sitting here at number 33, the first pick of the second round, we have Colston Loveland, Matthew Golden, Jahad Campbell, Derek Harmon, um, Ahmed Jackson, Grady Zabel, Jack Sawyer, edge guy, um, Donovan Ezuraku. Gonna get that right before time. Princely. So, what are your thoughts here? Because obviously you have a rookie quarterback now. You don't know what's happening at the tackle position. Um, at this moment, do we look for a tackle? Do we go edge opposite Miles Garrett? Um, what are you thinking here?
Well, just based on the board, if somehow Colson Loveland, who has been mock drafted to the Denver Broncos a lot around pick 20, if he was still here, I think realistically you're taking him and you're pairing him up with Njoku, maybe even uh, pegging him as the future of tight end because Njoku's entering the last year of his contract. Um, Whether or not the Browns extend him, I think that's to be determined. You draft Matthew Golden to pair him up with Jerry Judy and Cedric Tillman in the wide receiver room. I mean, you ran through the board. Like, there's no offensive tackles among like the 10 best available. Or, and you can even go defense. I mean, you got the options there. Campbell at linebacker with JOK's future is still very much up in the air. The defensive tackle, defensive line depth is pretty deep in this class. Um, I mean, you can't go wrong with either of the options here. And there's no trade offers again from the simulator. So that's interesting, especially at pick 33, which I feel like if Loveland and Golden's there, I'm sure teams will be calling the Browns uh, frantically if those guys were still on the board entering day two. But I mean, you can't go wrong in this scenario, honestly.
Here's my thought. It seems like in this draft, offensive line and edge are pretty deep. When you get, in terms of getting to the third, fourth round, maybe being able to find a guy. Do you want?
At least on the interior. I think the way guys are measuring out right now, I think you're going to get a lot of depth on the interior, which the Browns may or may not need with Batonio's future up in the air, Wyatt Teller out of guarantees, Posick being somebody that can move on from the year. Offensive tackle wise, it's not as deep. But continue.
Well, yeah. Let's kind of take a look here, see what we got. Um, he, no one's going to be a guard.
Most
Uh,
likely. So is Emory Jones.
got Belton, Trapio, tackle,
Mm-hmm.
for sure. Johnny Cornelius, tackle for sure. I'm not sure about Cameron Wood. I think he's a right tackle, if I remember right. Um,
Yeah,
so
I think he's a right tackle. Yeah, because Calvin Banks was left. So yeah, he's definitely right tackle, which Browns still need because Conklin, his future's up in the air as well. So
right, and you're not sure about the one either. So you're gonna have to figure that situation out. I'm
yes.
I'm good with going best player because
Yeah.
when you look at this offense, they need talent on offense. And if they're going back to more Stefanski style, you need two tight ends anyway. And right now you have Njoku, and that's about it. So I am totally fine with going close to Loveland here.
Very much so.
All right, let's do that. And on.
Ooh.
All right. So we have sitting here. Trey Amos, a corner out of Mississippi. Isaiah Bond, receiver out of Texas. A couple other tight ends.
How did Loveland only get us a B plus?
I don't know. Just
It, I don't understand the grading scale there.
yeah, yeah. Maybe there's
It's
another.
like PFFs. I don't understand it.
No, you think like, all right, this person's gonna be great for this spot, and you get like a C. Like I don't understand what their
Right.
process is here, but uh, maybe it's to make you do it over and over again, so you think you're getting a better grade or try to get a better grade. Uh,
Right.
so couple options here. Corner, I think Barry has taken one every single draft, and they arguably need one. Interior offensive line, you got Marcus and Bao here. Um, Running back, certainly an option. Two tight ends you have to worry about. Josh Beck still, or Jack Beck still on the board as well. I don't know. What are your thoughts?
I mean, the corner idea is not far fetched because you said Barry loves his corners. Newsom's on the block. Emerson's entering contract year.
After a
Denzel's a
poor season,
liability. Right. After a poor season, Denzel's a liability with his concussions. Um, I mean, yeah, they probably want to get more of a feel for Cam Mitchell, Miles Harden, guys that they've drafted. But corners definitely in play. Caleb Johnson is a perfect running back for this system. Um, I love Wyatt Millum, even though he'll probably move inside. I could totally see them just attempting to see if he could play left tackle. He did it for 4 years at West Virginia. But I know because of his arm length, there's a risk there that he have to kick inside for guard. And God forbid, if he has to replace Wyatt Teller or Joel Batonio, I would be far pleased with that. Um, but yeah, I mean, there's several good options here. Marcus Mabo, he's got potential, but he's an interior guy. I mean, how would you go here?
I'm kind of still on the best player board or available thing. Like, you know, we need a corner. Like, I don't
Hmm.
think you know where they're sitting at now, with Newsom and Emerson being second and third. Like, I don't trust that right now. So I'm totally fine going corner and just kind of moving on here.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm fine with Amos. I'd pound the table for Caleb Johnson, but I'm all for addressing the corner back room in this scenario as well.
All right, I'm going on Amos and moving on to next pick for.
And hopefully there's a running back there, which I feel like there will be.
Oh, we got our first trade ins from the Steelers, so no. I think it works. All right. Um, got Emory Jones, Dylan Sampson, Jordan Birch, a couple linebackers, a couple edge guys. I know um, guys guys Stewart graded pretty well in PFF last year from Michigan, so that's certainly Cameron Edabo. That close.
Yeah, no, you get it right on the nail.
That's rare. Running back. So a couple of running backs here. Options. Um, Couple edge guys. I would lean towards edge, but I wouldn't be opposed to running back in the city.
I was gonna say Daniel Jeremiah did a uh conference call last week, and I'm pretty sure um Casey Kinnaman of the OBR got to ask him about running backs that fit what the Browns are doing. Dylan Sampson was one of the guys. And I just happened to check Jack Duffin's guardrail board. He's 20.78 years old. So this guy's not even 21 yet when the season starts. This is a perfect running back that we could have for the next decade that fits the scheme. And he is one of the top running backs and what is a deep running back class. So I would take Dylan Sampson here in this scenario. But
I'm going with that too, and I think one of these edge guys, Kennard or Stewart, will be there in another 9 picks to where maybe we could risk it for the biscuit and kind of go there. So I'm good with taking Sampson and move.
absolutely.
All right, both those edge players are still there. Kyle Kennard, Josiah Stewart. Uh,
And I'll just say real quick, Anthony, looking at the Jack Duffins guardrail board, Josiah Stewart's not even 22 years old yet. Kennard, it will be over 23 when the season starts. So keep that in mind.
yeah, I remember that Stewart graded really well with Michigan last year, and
Yes.
we still need an edge guy across from maybe Miles for now. That's another conversation we had, but um, I'm totally good with going Stewart here.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. I don't think that Trapio is going to make. Got a couple corners, few corners here. Interior offensive line, safety, interior offensive
Definitely
line.
need safety.
Um, I wouldn't be down for doubling up on corner. One kind of went over that scenario as well. Um,
Yeah.
I could see, you know, Newsom being moved this off season. So you're going into this year with Ward and Emerson in his last year of his contract. I would totally be fine with going in this route. And I know Parrish had graded out well last year.
He grades out well. He only he's under 21 right now, so he'll be 21 when the season starts. So young, fits the guardrails. Um, but I would adjust the offensive line here. I mean, I know there's 4 solid corners here, but you know, I take Dylan Fairchild here. I mean, he fits. You play him inside. I think he's probably more of a guard. You might try him at center, see what he can do. I mean, outside of Posick, I mean, I know some are hopeful for Luke Whippler, but I mean, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. This is year 3, I think, for him. Um, but I wouldn't mind taking a stab on an offensive lineman and it being Fairchild at this point.
Yeah, I wouldn't be opposed to that. I mean, they need offensive line. We still hadn't addressed the offensive tackle. Maybe that's something they could do free agency, but at this point, um, probably not going to be able to find anybody.
Yeah.
So, um, going interior at this point, I would totally be okay with that. I mean, we're sitting here, end of 5th round, beginning of 5th round, so um, I I'm good with going with Fairchild, and you know, he could battle it out, those backup spots, and that would give them um, Zinter as one backup, probably Fairchild as the other backup on the other side, or they could swap, um, and or center, maybe play combo. So we'll
Yeah.
go Fairchild here, and
Yeah, because the depth on the offensive line needs to get younger too. I mean, we got Zinter, we got Whippler, but like Michael Dunn's been around for a while. We've had numerous backup offensive tackles that are vets, but yeah, he's got to start focusing on the future.
all right. Then where we're at, safety, linebacker, or interior offensive line. Um, Other tight end, Jordan James, which other fun thing to add a running back to as a wanted to double up there. Uh,
Yes.
what are your thoughts?
Um, D tackle options are nice. Uh, Pegasus and Pebbles are both older guys, so they don't necessarily fit the guardrails. I know those will get stretched out a little bit here in the coming years because of the extra, yeah, eligibility years, the COVID years and all that. So I mean, but those guys are nice options.
You're also staying in the sixth round too, so this is where you're kind of getting to the point
Yeah,
where you can kind of
I
ignore
mean,
some of those to an extent.
and that's true. You're taking stabs on traits more or less than age. Like if you're getting a guy in the sixth round and he can play and give you like 4 or 5 good years of play, and by the time he goes to free agency, he's 27, 28 years old, and let him go get his money and we get a comp pick. So I mean that's something to keep in mind. Who else was best available? Cody Simon. We need some help in the linebacker room. We need a safety. I mean, there are some options there. We look at wide receiver real quick. Nobody that I really like. Pat Bryant has got some explosion.
Corey Brooks,
Um,
I remember, went off a couple times this year for Louisville.
yeah,
Kind of a
and then
big play
plus,
guy.
plus I'm sure my one guy from Tennessee is still on the board. LeJontay Wester is a guy we can get later. He's got some electricity to his game. Um, yeah, I would go with one of the D tackles. And if we're going best available, JJ Pegas or however you pronounce his name. Still waiting on the beast from Dane Brugler with the pronunciation guide, but yeah,
I
I'd go him at this point.
I see that name and I see Pegasus from you. That's what I see. But yeah. Well, let's go. Uh, the tackle here. They seemed to hit pretty well with Mike Hall last year. And they
And Jawan Briggs, he
yeah,
showed some flashes down late in the game, late in the season.
and that's a position they need to get younger at as well. With the likes of having Shelby Harris, our good old buddy, the other defensive
And
tackle.
Dalvin Tomlinson.
Well, him and the belly rub guy.
Oh, Hurst. Yeah, he's a
Hurst.
free agent, but yeah, we'd like to see him come back if he could stay healthy.
We'll go with Pegasus here and head on. I like how belly rub guy. How I is him.
Best sack dance in football.
Absolutely. All right. Cody Simon is still on the board here at our next pick at
Take him.
194. Take
Take
him.
him.
Not even.
We're not even going to debate it.
Jordan James. Pat Bryant, who you mentioned, still on the board.
Davian Martinez, that's a nice another running back there. We got a lot of picks coming up, so
Yeah. I would say um,
do you want to take a stab on Holland Pierce here? I mean, he is 153rd best player on the board. We're getting him at 202 as a development tackle.
yeah, I mean, if worst case, he could be a backup tackle and
Yeah.
be cool with that. So yeah, let's do that. We got a few more picks here as we round out this draft. So we'll go with Holland Pierce out of Rutgers. I like how we've gotten A, B plus, and then the rest A pluses.
Um,
Couple corners, third tackle out of Wisconsin, not Joe
let's
Thomas.
look at running back here. Because I'm all for them drafting 2 running backs. I swear, Anthony, I don't know if you feel this, but like I will look at these mock drafts for months on end, and then there will be a name that pops up that I have never even seen before. And it's LaQuint Allen Jr. from Syracuse, because I never remember his name at any point during the pre-draft process up until now.
Yeah,
Um, gosh, Taj Brooks, like PFF's high on, isn't PFF like higher on him? Because I swear he's not 244th on their board.
yeah, him
'Cause
and
I'm pretty sure you've drafted him a couple times and he's higher.
Jaquindon Jackson too. I know they're high on. I know
Um,
we do have back to back picks here too. So
What about wide receiver? Yeah, I mean we can
Brooks.
Corey Brooks. He's so low, no one even knows who he is. Unless somebody took him already. Um, we're gonna take Corey Brooks here. I know you're probably on him.
Yeah, let's go with Brooks. Adding another young receiver. Yeah, back to back pick. Oh, that's our first nine A plus in a while. That's a big.
Good job, Jokey.
I know.
Now, let's go back to running back. Um, God, the only one I know Manfa and I know Manaji from Rutgers. Like, I'm not familiar with Allen Jr., Marks, or Yarns. I even take Taj Brooks at this point. I know that'll be a low grade. Maybe we can get him with Mr. Irrelevant. Um,
Donovan Edwards
I'll go
is
back
not
to best
bad.
available. I'm not taking him. Not because he went to Michigan, just because he's fallen off so bad. I know you mentioned doubling up on corner.
Yep. Yeah.
Uh, I I don't. Jordan Hancock wasn't the biggest fan of Jabbar Muhammad. Remember him? I'm not a fair. I'm not familiar with Elijah Hussey, but he's the best corner available. So if we want to go best available, we could take him.
Yeah. Let's on to our last pick.
Good, and then we don't have to consider him. He fell off so bad. Like I don't know what happened with him.
from the cover of college football to seventh round pick.
Right. So Manaji's still
I
available.
know Logan Brown they're high on. Fadil Diggs, PFF is high on. Edge, go up on tight end.
I feel like they'll add somebody in free agency. Um, we didn't take a safety. Where's Shiloh? Did Shiloh Sanders go? Um, let's actually take a safe. Let's take. Dude, we could take a safety a stab on a safety because I only got Hickman and Bell. We're assuming Thornhill will be cut. McLeod's retired. We need a safety. Let's take Mac McWilliams because that name's pretty cool too.
All right, to finish out here, we had Shedeur number one, Colson Loveland, Trey Amos, Dylan Sampson, Josiah Stewart, Dylan Fairchild, AJ Pegas, Cody Simon, Holland Pierce, Shakur Brooks, Elijah Hussey, and Mac McWilliams. Um, Overall thoughts on this exercise for today?
I thought it was pretty good, especially at the top. Getting our hopeful franchise quarterback in Shador Sanders, getting Colston Loveland at 33 is a steal. I don't care what the grade is of a B plus. If he fell to 33, I think that'd be a home run pick. Addressing corner in the top 100 with Trey Amos is, I think, good move. Getting Dylan Sampson in the late third round is great value in terms of running back and fitting what the Browns are going to do. And then yeah, at the top of round four, getting Josiah Stewart to add to the already deep edge room we have. I think it was a great haul by the Browns here, by us for
Yeah,
the Browns.
yeah. You look at like these top five picks, right? Uh, almost all top 100 picks except for three. You expect these guys to probably contribute at some point. Obviously, Shador, Loveland, um, Amos with the cornerback room the way it is. Hampson not really knowing what's going to happen with Nick Chubb if they're going to bring him back. You still have Jerome Ford, so you expect maybe some uh, there. Josiah Stewart rotate in, depending on what happens with Miles. So I think this exercise here, these are all guys that can contribute. Um, feel like it's pretty decent.
Absolutely.
All right, that's gonna do it for us here on Mock Draft Monday. Be sure to give us your thoughts in the comments. I know you guys have been doing that with these Mock Draft Mondays, so go on and continue to do that. In the meantime, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel, Dawgland. Give Jack a follow over on X at JackMcCurry08. Give me a follow at Joki Guy. And until next time, always remember, go Browns.